Hi, welcome back. Hearty welcome to you. In the last video, we have gone through the hyperbolic functions and all the graphs of hyperbolic functions. That's sine, cos, tan, secant, cosecant, and cot. So we have enough ammunition and information with us to go ahead with the inverse hyperbolic functions. We know that any function to be inverse, it should be a bijection. So in the last session, we have gone through the hyperbolic functions and we understood what is the domain range of them. Let's write them here now because we know that inverse hyperbolic functions domain is nothing but the range of hyperbolic function, and also the range is nothing but the domain of hyperbolic function. It's actually inverse of that. So let's write now. Let us say, so we'll say sine of x, cos of hyperbolic x, tan, cosecant, secant, cot. If you just remember what we have noted down with respect to the domain and range, we had enough discussion about the inverse functions and how a function can be inverse. We know that it has to be bijection. And if you remember in the last session, we also discussed that whether when we are drawing the graph itself, whether a particular function can be an inverse function or we need to tweak the domain. And we have gone through that. Same thing we are going to repeat again so that we can go ahead with the inverse functions domain and range. Okay. Hyperbolic x. What we have seen with respect to the graph of that? We have seen that x equal to r. Domain is R, and we have also seen the range is equal to R. That is what we have seen. And for the hyperbolic cos x, we have seen domain equal to R, and we have seen range is nothing but starting from 1 and it's going till infinity. This is square bracket because you are starting from 1 for, okay, right, for x equal to 0. And we have seen that the domain is R, but we have seen that it's a symmetric function. So we decided that we will go ahead with cos 0 to infinity. We have seen that hyperbolic cos is a symmetric function uh, across y-axis, and the values are of range, or the values of y are varying from 1 towards infinity, and it's a symmetric, so we cannot have inverse of it. So we thought we will take only half of it so that all the values are covered and the range remains the same. We said the domain, we will fix it from 0 to infinity. Instead of r, we will make it as 0 to infinity. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say initial domain is R, but we will make it as 0 to infinity. Starting with 0 and going towards infinity. Tan hx. Tan hx, we said the domain is perfect. We don't need to touch upon it. And we know the range also. We have seen that the range is between -1 and 1, and it's not going to reach -1 or 1. Okay. Cosecant hx. Cosecant hx, if you remember, we can have all the values other than 0. Can you tell me why we can't have 0? Because cosecant hx is 1 by sine. When x equal to 0, it becomes undefined. So cosecant hx, the domain is r other than 0, and the range is also r other than 0. Perfect. Let's coming to the secant hx. Secant, again we have seen that it's symmetric. Cos is symmetric, secant is also symmetric. And we have seen the x can have any values r, but we want to restrict it to 0 to infinity. So we'll say 0 to infinity. And the values of secant hx we have seen are max value it can go is 1, and it will try to reach 0. So 1 in square brackets, and or should I, okay, I can write it in the reverse way, starting from in the ascending order, 0 to 1. That is how it goes. Now the only one left is cot hx. We have seen cot hx is perfectly fine other than 0. So r minus 0. And the range of this is nothing but r minus of, I cannot have any values between minus 1 to 1. So it's nothing but equal to r minus of minus 1 to 1. Or you can actually take them as included here, because if you look at the cot hx, it can never reach one value. So you are excluding, when you are excluding, you want to include 1 also, negative 1 also. These are two are square brackets. I think, hope you got it. Okay, now let's go to inverse hyperbolic functions and try to understand how this looks like. Sine of h inverse x, cos of h inverse x, tan of h inverse x, cosecant h inverse x, and secant h inverse x, and at the end we have cot h inverse x. Now first thing, I know that the domain of this function is nothing but the range of this function, because you are going from now, your range will become domain and domain will become range. So I can simply swap them and I can write it. That's it. Simple. I can simply swap it up and I can write them. Okay. Since these are important, we'll go through this exercise again. Sin h inverse x, the domain will be range of this. Domain is nothing but range of this, so I can say R, and the range will be nothing but domain, so nothing but R. Cos h inverse x, domain is 1 to infinity, and the range will be 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity, not in square brackets. You can never reach infinity. Okay. Similarly, tan h inverse x, what will be the domain? Domain will be range of this. That's nothing but minus 1, comma 1. And the range will be R. And cosecant h inverse x, the range will be R other than 0. And the range also will be R other than 0. Secant h inverse x, we have actually adjusted the domain. So we have the range ready. So we know the domain is nothing but range of this. That's nothing but 0, 1. And the range of that is nothing but domain of secant hx. That's nothing but 0 to infinity. Infinity not in square. It's my mistake. Infinity can never be in square brackets because you are not going to approach infinity. Cot hx. Cot hx is, it will be simple. Just go ahead with the reverse of that. So it will be R other than minus 1 to 1 and R other than element 0. So that is how inverse hyperbole function looks like. Now drawing the graphs of this is pretty easy. We have drawn in detail sin hx, cos hx, tan hx. Now you take your x as y and y as x. You will be getting the graphs of all these functions because we have already adjusted the domain accordingly. Otherwise, even you want to draw it, you can say y equal to sin h inverse of x. If I say, let me do it here. If I say y equal to sin h inverse of x, that gives me x equal to sin h of y. Now you can take values of different y's and you can see how the x values change. It's nothing but exactly rotating the sin hx by 90 degrees so that the domain will become range and range will become domain. But in cos and secant we will be taking only the half of it. That you have to remember. Okay. That's about the inverse hyperbolic functions. Pretty much nothing other than that. So in the next video, we will try to look into some additional formulas of hyperbolic functions. If you remember, in trigonometric functions, we have compound angles, multiple angles, so same should be there in the hyperbolic also. We'll go through them, and afterwards we can do some examples, and we can wrap this up in 2 to 3 sessions, hyperbolic functions. Thanks for visiting. Bye for now. Thank you.